So by now, we know that the next generation Nintendo system, or the Nintendo Switch 2, whatever you want to call it, the successor to the current Nintendo Switch console, is going to be revealed by the end of Nintendo's fiscal year in the end of March of 2025, and it is going to be revealed soon and more than likely going to be releasing at some point next year. And so one of the biggest things that a lot of people may be wondering about is exactly how the transition is going to go for current Nintendo Switch users, as this is a topic that Nintendo has talked about a lot inside of their business financial meetings with their investors, as it's always been kind of a little bit difficult for Nintendo when transitioning from one console generation to another one. And I mean, for the most part, they've always kind of just restarted everything, and you kind of have like a whole new system, and then you just restart everything from scratch. But it seems like with the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo really wants to kind of have a seamless transition moving from one entire generation to the next one. And there's some things that I feel like they really need to get right here, and some important things that I'm going to be talking about inside this video as for how this transition should go. Now real quick before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, AliExpress. AliExpress is an online shopping website, and they were kind enough to send me samples of some of the goodies that you can find there. I got this really cool remote control drone, and it even has a camera on it, but the coolest thing I got by far was this handheld video game system. It's full of classic retro games from multiple systems and generations, and there's tons of hours of stuff that you can play. It even has some classic Pokemon games and had me hooked on playing Pokemon Fire Red version all over again. Right now, AliExpress is having a special summer sale promotion where you can get up to 90% off on some amazing products. AliExpress offers free shipping for new users as well as returns, so you can buy without having to worry about anything. Check out the discount codes on screen and use them to save on some incredible products during this special summer sale. You can check them out from the link below in the description, and thank you so much again to AliExpress for sponsoring the video. Now when talking about the transition from the current Nintendo Switch to a brand new next generation Nintendo Switch 2, I feel like the most important thing for a lot of people, including myself, is to have your games get transferred over seamlessly, and I think that this is definitely going to be the case. As for right now, we don't have anything official from Nintendo. They haven't said anything about the system, but more than likely, just looking at all of the rumors and inside information that we've heard about this Switch successor system, it is most likely going to have backwards compatibility with the current Nintendo Switch. And this just makes a lot of sense. I mean, we've basically seen this with pretty much any type of successor system that Nintendo has released with one of their prior systems, where like the Wii U can play all of your current Wii games, the 3DS is able to play all of your current DS games, even the DS was able to play Game Boy games, and so it's pretty cool how they're able to do that with having backwards compatibility, and I definitely think that they're not going to kind of just skip out on this and not have it with the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. In fact, I feel like most people would be very disappointed if you weren't able to play the entire Switch library that you have right now on the next generation system as well, especially if it's still going to be like a Switch, like what the Nintendo president has said, as he's basically said that it is going to be like a Switch but a new model of it. So if it's still going to be like a Nintendo Switch, then not being able to play your current games on it would be really dumb. So I am definitely expecting backwards compatibility. But when it comes to backwards compatibility, there's two types of games that people have when it comes to Switch games. You either have physical games or you have digital games. And it wouldn't be fair to have backwards compatibility with only one kind and then not have it for somebody else, so they need to figure out a way to seamlessly transition over both of these, and I feel like that is definitely not too difficult for them to do as well. With the physical side, there's definitely going to be an option to put your Nintendo Switch cartridges inside of the next generation system as well. Now, there's really kind of two ways for how they can go about this. The first way is that the next generation Switch 2 cartridge is going to be very similar to the current cartridge that we have right now, except it's going to have maybe like a little notch to it, or it's going to be a little bigger or something, and that entire slot where you put in the cartridge is also going to fit your current Nintendo Switch 1 cartridges, so it's kind of going to be like a 3DS where you can put your white 3DS cartridges, but you can also put a gray cartridge from the DS, and they both work inside of there, and you can still use it that way. Or they could do kind of like the DS approach where there's just going to be two different slots to be able to put your games. Like on the top, maybe you can put in like Switch 2 games, like the brand new ones for that system. And then at the bottom or maybe to the side or something, there's going to be like a Switch 1 cartridge slot and you can put your old games there if you still want to play with those. Now, when it comes to digital games, I also feel like this should be pretty easy. Digital games are going to be tied to the Nintendo account of the person who is using them, and so I feel like it should be very easy to go into the Nintendo Switch 2, be able to log in with your current Nintendo account that you have right now, using your email, just put your password in, log into the account, then go to the eShop on the brand new Switch 2 system, and there should be like an option somewhere to be able to see your past downloads and the types of legacy Switch 1 games that you were able to download on your old Nintendo Switch, and then just go in and check all of them off and then just have them re-download again to the Switch 2 system. Maybe they could do something with like the SD card as well, if that's still going to be usable on the Switch 2, where you could have like your current SD card that's in your Switch right now, have like all of your Switch downloads and stuff get in there, and then just put that inside of the new one, transfer the data over and stuff, and they could do it like that too. But I feel like digital should also not be super difficult, and they should be able to bring all of your games over. Another really crucial part about the transition from the current Nintendo Switch to the next generation Switch 2 successor is with the online subscription. With the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo decided to have an online subscription to be able to play online, like how we see on PlayStation and Xbox, and honestly it was kind of unfortunate because that was kind of the biggest thing that I honestly really liked about Nintendo, was that with PlayStation and Xbox you had to pay to play online, but with like the Wii U and the Wii and the 3DS and everything, online used to be free, so it was really nice to be able to play games online without having to pay extra. But with the current Nintendo Switch, Nintendo decided to finally add an online subscription. But the thing about this now is that this online subscription with Nintendo Switch Online comes with extra bonuses that Nintendo gives, like being able to back up your games to a cloud and being able to save your data that way, but also giving legacy games that you can play, like having Nintendo Switch Online through having like NES games and SNES games, N64 games, Game Boy games, and things like that. And so now, having this transition to the next generation system, it's going to be very important to see how they're going to go about bringing this online service over, as well as more than likely I'm sure this same online subscription from the current Nintendo Switch is going to work with the next generation system as well. I don't know about the pricing. Nintendo might decide to charge a little bit more for the next gen. We'll have to see and see if that gives us like any extra bonus goodies and things that actually make it worth it, if it is going to be costing anything more. But the point is, they are still going to need to figure out a way to be able to have all the people who are paying for Nintendo Switch Online with their subscription right now and have that seamlessly go over to the next gen system as well. And I feel like they can probably do this with your current Nintendo account, as that is where your Nintendo Switch Online subscription is also tied into. So by logging in to the Nintendo Switch 2 with having your Nintendo account and everything, you should be able to transfer over the online subscription that you have from your current Nintendo Switch, and it should be active with all of the kind of systems that you have under that account. I'm pretty sure that's what PlayStation does with like the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, so you've got that, and I feel like that makes the most sense. And then that way you should also be able to re-download all of like the SNES and NES and N64 games and all of that you still want to play on the brand new system as well. And then also, one of the most important parts about this transition from the current Nintendo Switch to the next gen Switch 2 is going to be with your save data for all of your old Switch 1 games. See, in the past, a lot of like the old like DS games and stuff, the save data used to be actually tied with the cartridge itself, so that way if you put in like your DS cartridge into somebody else's DS, you would still have like the data from your game inside of that cartridge. But now with the Nintendo Switch and just other games in general, we've kind of moved on from that and now have all of that type of data tied onto your account instead. So if you have a copy of like a Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch and then put that game inside of your Nintendo Switch and then take it out and put it into somebody else's Nintendo Switch, you're not going to have like your save file like how you would have if it was like a Pokemon Diamond cartridge or something like that from back in the day. So instead, they're going to have to figure out a way to be able to bring everybody's save data over, because nobody wants to restart all of the games that they're going to bring from the current Nintendo Switch to the next gen system. People want to have like their save data and continue playing with like the adventures that they've left on hold, and they're kind of keeping them to play again in some other time or when they have more time to play them. So they're going to have to figure out a way to be able to bring all of the save data over, and I feel like that's also going to be very easy for them to do by just having that all tied to your Nintendo account. The Nintendo president has already talked a lot about how the Nintendo account system, they really want to make kind of like the system that they want to use going forward for pretty much future iterations, even after the Nintendo Switch 2, where this is really going to be like your main account that you log into with every Nintendo system that you get, and you're going to be able to carry over all of your data. So hopefully they are able to do that, and when you download a game, you also have your save data get downloaded to it, or maybe they're just going to have like an entire save data download that you can do, and that way when you put in your cartridge from like your old Switch 1 games and stuff too, you can still have your save data there from your Nintendo account. So I'm really hoping that they're able to do that too, so all of your data and your playtime and everything, your hours and how much time you've put into all of these games and all of that is saved too with the next system. But yeah, there you go guys, those are pretty much the 3 most important things that Nintendo needs to get right with the transition from the current Nintendo Switch to the next generation Switch 2. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, as well as I'm definitely going to have some more videos talking about the next gen Nintendo system as the information comes out, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about all of this as well. How do you guys feel that Nintendo is going to go about having the transition from the current Nintendo Switch to the Switch 2? What are you guys hoping for it? Do you think that all of this makes a lot of sense, and is there anything else that you would like to see transferred over to? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.